I just want to remove this hebe from this bed here, and I'm going to place this in a part of the garden that's quite dry, as I know that these plants are quite tough and that it should do well underneath the conifer trees. So I've just moved a few little things in the garden, and where the hebe was, I've now planted this lovely nandina, and everything in this bed now is doing really nice. I have been asked once or twice about this fern here. This fern is a really beautiful fern, and it's more commonly known as a holly fern. It's got lovely dark black stems and lovely lime green leaves to it, and it really is a striking plant. I've got a few of these in the garden, and there's also two of them tucked away there next to the tree fern and the Trachycarpus virginiae. And they really are a lovely addition to the garden. And talking of the tree fern, just look at them fronds in there. They're really starting to unfurl now, and I'm keeping this quite damp. And I'm loving watching this every day, just growing that little bit bigger. The rhododendron that I moved last year, that has got some lovely buds now showing on it, and it's really preferring it in this spot. It was far too exposed in the centre of the garden where it was, and I'm really pleased with the progress of this plant. And just look at them buds there, absolutely perfect. I'm walking now down the garden path. You can see that the mind your own business, I've tried to extend that now so it'll grow through the paving stones. And just on the left hand side, this rhododendron here, it's just starting to flower too. It's only a small plant, this one, but it's a lovely colour on it. The Schefflera taiwaniana, that's done really well throughout the winter, although some of the leaves there are looking a little bit yellow. So I think I'll give this a little bit of a feed. But there's plenty of new growth there in the centre, and hopefully that'll perk it up a bit if I give it a feed. These grasses here along the front, I love the colour on these. They're a really bright lime green, and what I've been doing is just digging a few of them up and splitting them, and I've managed to just line the pathway underneath the tetrapanax with some of the grasses that I've split, and that's a great way to get some new additions into the garden without spending any money. And this tetrapanax now in its third year. Just look at the size on them leaves already at the beginning of May. Absolutely wonderful plant. very healthy. And I'm hoping that it won't be too long before I can walk down this path and walk under it, because at the moment it is slightly in the way. It's at that awkward height, but never mind, it'll soon grow taller. And just look at those banana leaves there as well. They really are pushing out now. I love the large cordyline that we've got in the centre of the garden. And I noticed yesterday that right in the centre, it's starting to flower again. So this was a single stem up until last year, where it split into two. And now that that is flowering, that means that the two branches will now split again and make four. And that's doing really well in the centre of the garden. My little red banana I've repotted into a larger pot, and hopefully now that will soon size up. Totally tangerines. They're looking wonderful in the centre of the garden. And their bright orange colour really brightens up the centre bed. Walking now down to the greenhouse. You can see that the John Phillips in full flower there with its beautiful scent. And today I've just moved this plant here, which is a Begonia, and just look at all the berries on there. I just moved that forward a little bit into the bed, as I thought the John Phillips will give it a little bit of a shadow, so it's not in full blazing sun. And it's a beautiful plant, and the earth here is a little bit damper than it is over the other side. It was a little bit dry there. I've also been out just dotting round some begonias throughout the garden. Everything now is really filling out in the garden. Looking wonderful. So you can see that I've also been dotting round a few begonias just by the side of the pathways. And these now I'm hoping will size up throughout the season. And just put a lovely edge on all the pathways. I've also just added a few small cannas just here and there in the garden. And so far so good. The slugs haven't got to them. So fingers crossed, let's hope that continues. But overall, considering it's only May in the garden, this year the garden, most of the plants have been in now for 4 years. And everything now is filling out really well. I always said when I started the garden that I wanted to be able to walk through the plants. And now this is the first year where this has become a reality, where I can actually walk down the garden paths and the plants are over my head. And that really is a dream come true in the garden for me. And all of the ferns now along the bottom of the borders. They're all opening up beautifully. And I do love a fern in the garden. They really do tend to soften all the hard edges of the pathways. And also the one by the side of the wildlife pond. That's looking absolutely fantastic at the moment. And the little pink china, that's starting to size up now. And it really does look lovely now. And the wildlife pond is bustling with life. And all the tadpoles in there now are really starting to size up. The bamboo robusta Campbell. I'm loving those stripy stems. Such a contrast really to the other bamboos. And this is a clump forming bamboo, so I haven't got to worry too much about it running round the garden, as the clump will just increase in size slowly each year. And all of the bamboos that I've got planted in the ground, they're all clump forming bamboos. The one that I bought the other week and popped in the pot, that's a black bamboo. And since that's been planted, it's really opened up a lot. You can see there as well that it's got some new canes. And I think that just needed a good water and some good compost. And hopefully now that'll do well in the pot. Just look at the size now gone on this hosta guacamole. I think this plant now is also 3 years old. And I don't seem to have any problems with slugs when they're in the pots. Although there's no way I can grow hostas in the ground, as I did once, and they were completely munched by the slugs. So if I am growing hostas, it's pots for me. There's also another little hosta here, which I grow in a terracotta pot. I've got no idea what variety this one is. But again, no problem with the slugs here. So far anyway. The Persicaria Purple Fantasy. That's really doing well in the garden this year. I bought this last year as 2 small plug plants. And this year I've sort of dug little bits up and spread them around the garden. And they've really sized up well. Beautiful colour on these and really interesting with that purple flash of colour. So I've planted the hebe now at the very bottom of the garden, and this is a very difficult spot to get things to grow, as it is underneath some large conifer trees. I haven't watered it in yet, but hopefully it'll be okay down here. So I hope you've all had a lovely weekend over the bank holiday in your garden. Let me know in the comments what you've been up to. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.